Welcome back to More Beliefs Work. Your brain receives an enormous amount of information every single second. Sounds, sensations, visual input, conversations, facial expressions, body language. There's data coming in from every direction constantly. And almost none of it makes sense to our conscious awareness right in that moment. Our brain has to filter. The volume of incoming information is simply too much for our conscious mind to process. So it makes decisions, mostly below our level of awareness, about what gets through and what gets screened out. The system responsible for this filtering is called our reticular activating system, our RAS. And while the name sounds pretty technical, what it does is straightforward. It works like a search engine that has already been given some keywords. It looks for what it has been told to look for, and it tends to screen out, everything else. Your nervous system is always paying attention. It's always flagging. And here's a good example of that. Most people have experienced deciding, or thinking about, hey, I think I'm going to get a particular car. Let's say a red one. And suddenly red cars are everywhere. You see them on every street and every parking lot. They were always there. Your brain just wasn't flagging them as relevant before, because the moment they became relevant, the moment they matched a keyword that your brain was searching for, then they started showing up. Your I am beliefs work the same way. Each I am statement is essentially a standing instruction to your brain about what to look for and what to screen out. If your I am is I am someone people overlook, then your brain gets very good at finding evidence of that. The colleague who didn't acknowledge your contribution in a meeting, or your friend who took a while to respond to your message. The moment somebody looked away while you were talking, your brain flags all of that because it matches the standing search term. And the moments that contradict that I am, the genuine compliment, the person who lit up when you walked in, the message that said, I was just thinking about you, those moments are much more likely to get filtered out because they don't match the search term, so they don't make it through. This is why I am beliefs are so persistent and a little bit hard to shift through logic alone, because the belief will keep finding confirmation because the brain is looking for confirmation. And the evidence that might challenge the belief keeps getting screened out before it even reaches our conscious awareness. So the belief's going to feel true. Of course it feels true. You have years of evidence for it. Evidence your brain curated specifically to match the I am you've been carrying, right? So if your brain has been filtering your experience through the lens of your I am beliefs, and it has, then what you think of as your experience of reality is a very edited version of reality. It is curated by beliefs you probably aren't choosing consciously and may never have really examined or thought about. So this week we're getting curious about your I am beliefs. It's a way of expanding what you're able to see. When an I am gets examined and updated, the filter changes, the search term changes. And when the filter or search term changes, different information starts making it through. Evidence that you were missing before starts becoming visible. You start seeing red cars. Your brain is not showing you everything right now. It never has been, it never will be. And the criteria it uses to decide what you see is largely based on your I am statements. Most of them you've been carrying for a very long time. That's worth looking at. So here's your tool for today to check your own filter, see what search terms are in there. Pick one old negative belief you often have about yourself. One of those I am statements that, if you've been watching the past 2 or 3 videos we've been working on, actively look for 3 small pieces of real evidence today that prove the exact opposite is true. Force your brain to look past its usual filter. Even if the evidence feels small or insignificant at first, it's not. These tiny small steps will compound. These tiny pieces of evidence will compound up on each other, and before you know it, it's like looking back, it's like doing sit-ups. You think, this isn't doing anything, this isn't doing anything, and one day you look in the mirror like, wow, I'm getting some abs. That's the same way with examining beliefs or changing our behavior or changing our thoughts. These tiny little steps matter. So just go through the practice. If you're running into blocks or have questions, please post them in the comments. I'd be happy to respond and help clarify where I can. I think I have one more video to do this week on examining beliefs, and then next week we're going to move into deconstructing beliefs, learning the gap and building a bridge. All right, I love you. Take care of yourself, and as always, I am sending you peace and light.